everyone. I'm Marion Short, the CEO of the Engagement Institute, and I'm bringing you the July 2026 Advocacy Update. So again, we've been busy with a whole stack of submissions. Probably the one that's of most interest to our members, particularly in New South Wales, was the proposed statewide communication participation plan, which we submitted in June. So we support the New South Wales Government's intention to create a single community participation plan as an important opportunity to improve consistency, clarity, and public confidence in the planning environment, in planning engagement. And we support the standardised exhibition timeframes and notification requirements, whilst emphasising that they should remain a baseline for fit for purpose engagement, not the full extent of engagement required. Our key recommendations were to clarify how the communication participation plan relates to broader engagement plans and processes, legislate a 60-day public exhibition period for regional strategic plans and retain 42 days for master plans, only to shorten or bypass master plan exhibition where there are clear criteria, transparent reasons and evidence of earlier engagement, require plain language information, accessible and proactive methods, and alternative submission formats such as audio and video, and clearly close the loop and review engagement plans to establish minimum standards and reduce duplication. This submission reinforces that quality engagement should happen early enough to influence planning outcomes and be proportionate to the scale, complexity, and likely community impact of decision. As always, the links to our submissions are found on our website and you'll be able to access them there. We also put in a submission to the National Environmental Standard for Community Engagement. So we strongly support the Australian government's intention to establish the standard as part of a national environmental law reform. This is part of a reform of the EPBC Act. Our central message is simple. Engagement must be treated as an input to better decisions, not as a procedural step after key choices have already been made. Our recommendations include, and these will be no surprise for our members because they align with our policy calls to action. We want to see government adopt a clear definition of engagement and use the terms engagement and consultation consistently, not interchangeably. Require engagement plans to explain the decision being informed, what is open to influence, what information is being sought, and how it will be considered. Make engagement proportionate, early and adaptable, and refresh it when material project changes or new assessment information arise. Ensure that online engagement is not the default and support accessible, inclusive and culturally safe alternatives. Require a plain language outcomes report explaining what was heard, what changed, and how engagement influenced the final decision. And, as always, embed suitably qualified senior engagement practitioners in project planning and advisory bodies while coordinating engagement across overlapping approval frameworks. This is a key call to action for the Engagement Institute. We strongly believe if they only do one thing, if they could appoint an engagement professional as a technical expert to the advisory body, it would significantly uplift engagement. So this submission directly advances our calls for a clear definition of engagement, minimum standards, strategic engagement, and engagement professionals as technical experts. Across the ditch to New Zealand, our recently formed New Zealand Advocacy Committee has completed its very first submission. This is to the Conservation Amendment Bill. It focused specifically on the role of engagement in conservation decision-making. We did not take a position on the bill's broader policies. Instead, we called for decisions to be informed by meaningful, inclusive, timely and transparent engagement. Our key recommendations included Distinguish engagement with iwi and hapu from general public engagement. This is engagement with Māori, with early resourced and culturally appropriate processes that recognise tikanga, matauranga Māori, treaty settlements and relevant relationships. We would like to see strengthened statutory engagement for the National Conservation Policy Statement, area plans, concessions, visitor amenities and access charging. We think it's important to retain and strengthen public notification and objection rights and require decision makers to explain how evidence from communities and Māori informed final decisions. I want to thank our New Zealand Advocacy Committee of Julie Boucher, Jamie Greenshields and Anne Cunningham for moving quickly and bringing valuable local insight to this work. We are also asking our members to be activated in our Make Your Profession Count in the 2026 Census campaign. This is one of the most important member activation campaigns that we have launched, helping community and stakeholder engagement gain stronger recognition as a distinct profession in Australia's workforce data and occupational classification framework. At present, engagement practitioners are often captured under broad categories such as liaison officer. This makes it harder to understand our profession's size, growth, skills, career pathways, and importantly, our contribution. What gets measured gets recognised. So on Census Night, Tuesday, 11 August 2026, please use the occupational title from our recommended list that most accurately reflects your current role and responsibilities when answering the census occupation question. The campaign page includes the full list, the frequently asked questions, and some downloadable resources. You might be interested to know that at the last census, more than 300 people already used engagement-related occupational titles in their census data. This year, we want to build on that momentum. So please share the campaign with your teams, colleagues, and professional networks. It is open to all engagement professionals across Australia. Remember that, Tuesday, 11 August, Census Night. Make your profession count. This week, we were really excited to launch our new Global Engagement Challenges webinar series. It was created directly from member feedback to connect practitioners across countries, cultures, and contexts and explore the challenges shaping engagement around the world. Our inaugural session, Emerging Trends, Shared Challenges, Different Perspectives, brought together perspectives from Australia, Singapore, and the United Kingdom. The session explored changing community expectations, declining trust, AI, misinformation, emerging risks and opportunities, and where the profession is heading. It was wonderful to be part of the panel and part of the conversation. I'd really like to thank our speakers for their generous contributions. Oliver Deed, who is the co-founder and managing director of ECF, Amy Hubbard, fellow of the Engagement Institute, co-founder, director and practice lead at Kapir, Kirsty Jones, a fellow of Australian National University and senior advisor for the Next Generation Engagement Project, and Billy Kwan from Singapore, co-founder and principal at Wyndham. So thank you so much, guys, for sharing your time, experience, perspectives, and for setting such a strong foundation for this global conversation. We'd love to hear from you on your ideas for future topics and speakers. So please feel free to email us at events@engagementinstitute. And I want to close with a blatant plug for our conference, which is heading to my hometown, the beautiful River City, Meanjin, Brisbane. The theme is Engage, Elevate, Lead. Early bird registration closes very shortly on the 31st of July and includes a complimentary pre-conference workshop of your choice. So check us out and come along, and I look forward to welcoming you in Brisbane on the 27th to 29th of October. See you next time.